Here we are, the Uwharrie National Forest. We're gonna do this trail right here, go around and then come back up here, which is gonna be fun. A lot of mountain biking trails here. Wood Run Mountain Biking Club. We're gonna take a map and we'll follow the hiking trails and come back on the mountain biking trails. Mountain biking trails look a little more road-like. We'll be able to go fast if we're slow. All right, you guys ready? Well, we are hiking. Caesar's got his hiking stick and we are out in the woods. Not on the best of days because of course it's deer season and we're in the national forest, which is kind of dangerous, but we had to put the flea, tick, mange, worms, heartworms medicine on the dogs, and they haven't had a good hike in a long time, so we figured we'd go out and get going. This is the Uwharrie National Forest, I believe it's called or said, and it's got a lot of trails, 15 or 25 miles of bicycle trails and hiking trails, and I suppose you could kayak on these trails too, but it would be a little harder. But it's a nice forest. Fall is always as I've said in the past, fall is always a tougher time to hike because the leaves cover up all the rocks and roots and everything. You fall all over the place, but it's just, the weather is beautiful. It's a nice blue sky, sunny day, and temperatures around, I think the car said it was about 55 or 60. It's supposed to go up to 60 today, so that's just perfect for hill hiking. We're going downhill now. We'll have to be going uphill later, I'm sure, but this isn't a big mountain area. It's just a little hilly curves and little creek beds and washouts. Just a little rolling terrain here. We're moving away from the parking lot fast because as we were getting ready to leave, somebody pulled in with at least one golden lab, and we're hoping they go in another direction. As usual, the boys aren't on leash. They're always good, but you never know what the other dog is going to be. Well, this is the first real hiking we've done in weeks. It is November 8th, 9th. It's Veterans Day, and we haven't been out in a long time. Been spending most of our time looking at houses, searching for the perfect house, which there are no perfect houses down here. The perfect house seems to have been bought up by realtors and doubled in price. This area within 100 miles of Charlotte is very realtor managed. It's very popular, it's very growing, and the investors, as they call themselves, the speculators, have really gotten control of the whole area. There were a lot of foreclosures down here back in 2008, and they just started to come come on market in 2014, 15, and now, and the market was glutted for a while, so they've held off on a lot of them. So there's still a lot of foreclosures. If you look at the auctions.com foreclosure market, there are in any little town outside of Charlotte, Statesville, Salisbury, Cleveland, Mooresville, there's 20 or 30 foreclosure houses for sale at auction. And usually they're pretty bad shape, but the investors buy them up and sell them. They snap in a modular bathroom and a modular kitchen. It's all crummy pressed wood, and they sell it for about twice what it's worth because it's clean. So we're not interested in buying one of those. And some of the houses people are living in still that are for sale are really quite interesting on how handyman built they are. I mean, there's bathrooms that are just bizarre in the way they're configured and stuff. I'll have another video of my house hunting experience, and hopefully I'll find a house, and when I find a house, that's when I'll make the video. But in the meantime, I'm kind of documenting some of the house hunting experiences and fun. Not that it's fun, but it's interesting. I mean, it's see where people live and what they've done. We looked at a really nice house this morning. The only problem is it's in a flood area, and the foundation, the basement, is bowed way in. So I'm not sure how long that'll last. They actually did a remediation where they put steel beams inside the foundation. Like they built a new foundation of cinder blocks and put beams, steel beams, I-beams, in between the cinder blocks, and even those have bowed out. So there's a lot of hydraulic pressure behind that wall. So anyways, we're out hiking. I'm not out of breath because we're not climbing. I'm out of breath because we're talking, but the sun's kind of ruining the picture here, so I'm gonna sign out until we get to something that's interesting. And we'll do other videos. Just stay tuned, stay subscribed, and we'll keep you up on some of the things. There's a campground on this piece of property, so we'll go over and see the campground too. So keep watching. Here's one of these streams that we came upon. I mean, this looks like a pretty serious stream bed, but there's no water in it. I mean, this is a dry stream. It's a pretty significant stream bed, lots of rocks and stuff, but it's just as dry as a bone. I don't know what was digging in it, but the boys would like a drink. I didn't fill up their bucket because I didn't know how bad the roads would be. But we're following this stream, and this is a nice little camping area. I mean, you have to walk a half a mile to get to it, but it's a nice flat camping area out in the woods. I don't see any signs that say no camping, so we're going down next to the stream, and it got real tight with rhododendrons and azaleas or whatever these are. But kind of neat walking through tunnels of greenery, vegetation. These woods are really pretty because there's yellow leaves that fall from above into the rhododendrons, and it looks like they've got yellow flowers. I don't know if that'll actually show up, but it just looks like there's yellow flowers in the rhodos. And I mean, there's pretty trees. It's a beautiful day. Some brown leaves, they have a tint of red to them. A couple of little red maple-like things. I don't know what they are. I'm in North Carolina. I'm out of my backyard. There goes a vulture. I hope he doesn't think I'm gonna fall over dead. It's possible, but hopefully not. I hate it when vultures follow me though in the woods. But back on the trail, here we go. One of the neat things about my boys is that Caesar going downhill has a little trouble yet. He falls over sideways. And when he does, Dakota runs down to help him. I don't know that he really does do much help, but it's one of the few times that Dakota's up in front is when Caesar's having trouble. We're on the top of this little rise. We've gone another half mile or so. Seems to be another campsite here, or maybe even two. There's another fire pit. But there's an awful lot of downed trees here on this little rise, and I wonder if this had a little blowdown, windstorm, tornado, whatever you want to call it, because there's an awful lot blown down, and it's all been nicely cut up and moved out of the way, so the trails are all open. But and I don't know how old these were. Like, you know, there's one right there that's been sawed on both sides of the trail. All right, back on the trail, back hiking. We've come to a fork in the trail. Actually, it's an X in the trail. There's 3 different trails in different directions. I think that's a biking trail because it's blue. That's a long hiking trail. And we don't want that one. We want to go the Kiwi Trail. This is hiking and biking, which is what we want. I think this goes back out to the parking lot. The information kiosk at the parking lot does have a big box of maps, a mailbox stuffed full of maps, and we did take one. We did meet a nice couple with a very nice friendly pit bull on the trail, and they were going the wrong direction. They weren't going where they wanted to go, so we showed them our map and where they wanted to go and helped them out. They were doing probably a 10-mile loop up through this thing. There's some pretty good trails. This is a pretty nice place. It's dry. It's not crowded, obviously. Those are the only people we've met since we got here. We met somebody in the parking lot getting his bike out, but we haven't seen him on the trails. We met them on the trails. We saw them in the parking lot, and that's why we left. They met up with us just less than 1/10 of a mile off the trail they wanted, so they lucked out. Next time they should have a map. And they should read the trail signs, because the sign said what they wanted to do. Well, we're coming down out of the trail, but we're way down the trail. We're at the junction of a couple of trails, and there's a toilet here. There's no water or anything, of course, which is what I really need, is water. I think we're going out the road. It's a unisex vault toilet with a big stack to keep the smell down. There's one of the trail markers with all the prohibitions. No horses, buggies, things, but bikes and hikers are all right. But we'll just stay on the road for the moment. There's another trail. There's the Woodrunner Trail. But we're running the road right at the moment because we need to get back. We have to go and get we got a 2-hour drive that we've got an hour and a half to make. And you know I don't go very fast, so we got to get going.